Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So we had a nice little rumour image drop today. A lot of people are saying it could be Fabius Bile. Yeah, it could be, I actually want to talk about the potential return of Fabius Bile in today's video, and also other 40k characters which haven't really received a nice upgrade in the past few years. So let's jump in and let's have a little discussion. So let's start with the rumour image and the potential of Fabius Bile returning to Warhammer 40,000. Now, as you can see from the image, it does have that skin type of stitched effect. It has a face on it, and when you compare it to the now Fabius Bile model, which is definitely showing its age, I must add, you can see like the stitched effect, and you can also see that little face. So what I'm going to do real quickly, I'm going to talk about the novel Clone Lord, because that has a kind of big narrative and a kind of certain area where Fabius Bile could go to. If you haven't read that book, then please go and read it. It's a fantastic, amazing book. Me as a full-on loyalist was like, oh wow, this is really good heresy. But you know, I had to like pull myself out of it because I am still loyal to the core. Right. So the potential storyline in that, well, sorry, the actual storyline in that is that Fabius Bile finds a clone of Fulgrim. It is a full working, non-mutated, goody-goody clone of Fulgrim. He raises that clone, and the clone itself starts to remember stuff which happened because Primarch's memories are stored in their blood. Long story short, this Fulgrim clone is a good Fulgrim clone. He wants to basically amend the Legion, bring the Legion back to its former glory. It regrets what it did. It says the old Fulgrim was weak. He's sorry for Ferrus Manus, yada yada yada. Again, long story short, Fabius Bile ends up trading him to Trajan the Infinite for a batch of untainted Emperor's Children gene seed, a massive batch of gene seed which went missing way before the Horus Heresy started. I've missed so much out on that book. Really, there's so much more story in that book. Go get it, you'll absolutely love it. So now Fabius has this nice huge gene stock of Emperor's Children gene seed, and the thing about Fabius Bile as a character is that he doesn't like the Emperor's Children. He hates what they become. He hates what basically Chaos has done to the Space Marines. He thinks the Space Marines' time has ended, basically. He doesn't see a future in them. So when it comes to a narrative storyline, I don't see Fabius himself being attached to, you know, like a greater Slanesh launch or a faction, or, you know, Fulgrim's return. Basically, Fulgrim hates Fabius Bile. He actually wants to capture him and put him into his like pleasure garden and torment him and stuff like that. These two are not BFFs anymore. Like back in the Great Crusade and the Horus Heresy, they were very, very linked to each other, but that's slowly broken apart, and now they basically hate what each other has become. So with his launch, his potential launch, should I say, I think it's probably going to be like a standalone kind of version. I think it would come out with the rest of the Slanesh launch if that launch did come out, like with Noise Marines, Fulgrim and stuff like that. But when it comes to the narrative sense, I don't think he would be involved with like marching under Fulgrim's banner or anything like that. What he definitely does need is a new model, as you can tell by the model image which is on the screen right now. Like this guy, back in the day, he was the bee's knees. I'm not gonna lie, you know, it was like, oh wow, Fabius Bile, he's got a pimp cane. He looks absolutely amazing. But as time's gone on, we've had like the new Primaris models, we've had Abaddon, we've had that new Chaos range now, and you look back on a character like Fabius Bile and how important he's been in the lore, and you see his model and you think, wow, this guy definitely needs to get some love. So fingers crossed. I'm definitely hoping that the rumour image is some way attached to Fabius Bile and he does get his much deserved model. And on the subject of models and introducing new characters into the new model range, we can start looking at some of the others, such as, let's stay on the track of Emperor's Children for now. Lucius the Eternal. For those guys who don't know, this guy was a big character back in the Great Crusade Horus Heresy. I won't go into too much detail because his story is very, very interesting. All you have to know is that this guy is the absolute worst. Now, if you look at his model, once again, it's just in the same scenario as Fabius Bile. Such a big character, had a lot of stuff happen to him, it affected a lot of storylines, but his model is simply not up to date. I'm wondering if, I know we spoke about the Armageddon campaign and the potential of, you know, Gazskull getting new models, new Orc models, and new Imperial Guard Steel Legion. We even dabbled in Angron coming back, all that kind of awesome stuff. I'm wondering if maybe the next campaign will involve Slaanesh in some kind of format, because as I mentioned at the start of the video, we've recently just had all the Slaaneshi demon stuff. Now, of course, demons work in AOS and 40k. I think everyone knows that by now. So you can basically look at it like killing two birds with one stone. If you introduce the demons are already out there, and then you just start introducing characters like Lucius, Fabius Bile, Noise Marines, Fulgrim, you know, all these kind of characters then just to add to that range to spice it all up. When it comes to narrative sense, I'm trying to think what they could really, what planet could they really affect? Maybe they just come back just to do what they do, like turn planets into pleasure planets and wear people's skin and dance around shouting weird stuff. Maybe that's just got to be their narrative. I think it would be really, really interesting, though, if Fulgrim did come back, because if you remember, Fulgrim's the guy that put Guilliman in stasis. So technically, it was down to Fulgrim that the Imperium went down this crumbling path, because without Guilliman as that so-called leader at the forefront, you know, guiding humanity, you know, being the diplomat, the statesman, all that kind of stuff, they basically just crumbled, and, you know, power corrupts all these human mortal people, where Guilliman was like running it like a boss. He was keeping the ship together, and then Fulgrim came along and he sliced his throat, and that was it. That was basically the start of the downfall of the Imperium, even though it's being rebuilt now by Guilliman. It's reaching the stars once again, but for those 10,000 years or whatever, how long he was in stasis, it really affected the Imperium without the lead of Guilliman. So thanks for that, Fulgrim, you absolute wanker. If you actually take a look at the Games Workshop website and just go to, you know, the Chaos Space Marine section, filter it by HQs, you can actually see some of the HQ characters that definitely need the love. One of the biggest ones is Shuren Blackheart. Now, he's very, very big in the lore at the moment. He's always seen himself to potential of an Abaddon replacement, which I always find is kind of funny. But his model is just like Fabius's. It's just like Lucius Eternal. It is old as the Emperor's golden balls, and it definitely needs some spicy love given to it. If we go down the list, I'm just searching down the list now. You've got stuff like I know a lot of people say Khan the Betrayer. Hey, I really want Khan the Betrayer to get a new model because Berserkers and stuff like that. It's like no. Khan, I think Khan's model is what, 3 to 4 years old, and to GW that's like basically brand new. That is not getting replaced till I'm about 55 or something like that. So for those guys who, you know, are hoping to get a new Khan the Betrayer model, it's not going to happen. Just trust me, guys, it's not going to happen. You've got stuff like the Chaos Space Marine Sorcerer, which is, again, is old as balls, but we do have that backpack image, which we still haven't had a model for. I'm wondering if it's going to be some kind of expansion or Blackstone 4. I don't know what it could possibly be now, because we've basically had all the Chaos reveals. Unless they're going to pull something out of their ass magically, I just can't see where they're going to go with it. We've got an Iron Warriors Warsmith, but really no one plays with them because people like to win the games. If you play Iron Warriors, you lose all the time. Night Lord's Chaos Lord, again, very, very, very old model. You've got the old Terminator Lord, which, of course, we got confirmed we're having nothing against. You got Chaos Lord with Jump Pack, very, very old model. Sorcerer Lord and Terminator Armor, Warsmith, you know, just some of the old models, but I think they're more generic models rather than being upgraded into the character models. Of course, we need the character models to be upgraded. So Fabius, Lucius the Eternal, sorry, I'm stuttering myself, Red Corsairs, the Huron Blackheart. These are the guys which I think deserve the love more than the Chaos Lord, the Chaos Sorcerers, the Sorcerer models and stuff like that, because these guys are big players when it comes to the narrative and with the way GW's hitting the narrative at the moment with, you know, the campaign systems, like we just had the Vigilus stuff, and hopefully the next one is Armageddon and all the new models potentially around that. I think that's the way that GW's going now. They release campaign books, they'll release story, and they release the big models around those campaigns. So there's still so much potential there for the Chaos range. Hopefully, GW will reveal their campaigns very, very soon. They did say that this year we'll see something in that little post they released at Adepticon and stuff like that. So fingers crossed we'll get something big and announced very, very soon. For me, I'm done for another glorious video. Thank you for listening to my words of absolute tosh, as always. It's just me just rambling, isn't it? I just ramble for like 15 minutes and have to cut it down because, you know, I don't want like a 15-minute video of just me going, yes, 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 I know, yes, So I have to, yeah, I just lose myself like I'm doing now. This is what I'm doing now. I'm not going to cut this version down because this is basically an unedited Valrak piece right here. Right, thanks for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. See you all very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully we'll have some Fabius very, very soon, brothers. See you now, and bye-bye.